Good evening, everybody. Welcome to APPF1 Tier 3. That must mean it is Monday night once again, and we are at round 3 in Shanghai in China. One of my favorite tracks on the game, and has been since it has been added to the calendar, I believe way back in 2006. Or no, 2004, I think it was actually. Apologies. I haven't done my revision for this circuit. But let's forget about that before I shamelessly get anything else wrong. So, yes, welcome to Tier 3 as we kick off another fun Monday night of league racing. As the cars just take to the track. Everybody's getting out quite early, actually, which may indicate rain, looking at how cloudy it is. So we'll just quickly get some tyres up as well. Oh, we don't need to see tyres, actually. There we go. Right. So before we see some laps get ploughed in, let's just quickly run over the drivers' standings. So Runes leads the way on 36 points, finishing first and second in the opening 2 rounds, respectively. And then second place, we have got Robsu on 23 points, as Robsu is present tonight as well. Then in third, we've got LB Racing. Fourth is Wizard. Fifth is Speedy B. Sixth is James Gardner. Seventh is Avenir. Eighth is Joey B. Ninth is Drogon. 10th is MS. 11th is Ralphie. Josh the Guy is in 12th. Slow start to the season for him. Rycon 13th. Stanley 14th. Lil Louis Grill 15th. Ads in 16th. Tier 17th. Tier was a reserve, I believe. He is here tonight as well. Bonus. Kurt 18th, who is no longer with us. We've got Michael Pepito, Primeval, and Sid are the non-scorers. Right, let's quickly see who is going to be the first to set a lap. It won't be Robsu. It could well be Ads. So we'll ride on board with Ads as he's going to be the first car across the line. Runes in the mud, says Zeki in the chat. Hello and welcome everybody in the chat as well. It's nice to have you. I'll quickly run over the constructors in a bit. Let's see some qualifying action first before we ramble on about constructors. As this is the place you keep the car as straight as possible. You open the DRS as soon as you can as well. Try and get optimum top speed. Brake around the 100-meter marker board. And clip the apex. You can take a lot more curb than that. It's just a little bit deep. And do I see rain on the screen? I'm sure I just see a drop of rain, which is going to be pretty ominous. As Ads comes across the line, as he is set at 135.1. Second over the line is Primeval, 134.7, 4 tenths faster. As LB goes second and everyone else is coming towards the line. All the time's going to come in thick and fast. Bacon Bear goes across the line. Lil Louis Grill across the line. Runes goes pole position with a 134.1. As I'm trying to keep up. Robsu in fourth. Joey B in fifth. This is carnage. It is looking like it is going to rain. This could be a one-shot qualifying pretty much. As it is essential to get your best lap in now. Yes, it is raining, so the times you're only going to go downhill. As pretty much that could be qualifying done. We'll keep an eye on Speedy B, who's on the lap at the moment, but the rain coming down. Avenir as well. It's only just started the lap. Drogon's on an out lap. This is a poor time, but Josh is currently on the lap, and he's going to find himself really struggling for pace as the rain comes down, as it really does eat away at your pace around here. As you can see, he's running deep. Maybe the track is already just a little bit too greasy. As the biggest losers already are looking like Speedy B, Avenir, Drogon, and Josh the Guy. We'll stay on board with Josh as he's going to be next across the line. Opens his DRS. DRS is still active, so the track's saying it's still fit enough for dry tyres, at least anyway, for now. As rounds the penultimate corner. The last corner is a fast swooping left. You don't want to catch too much curb. It will send you flying into the barrier. Runs wide, but must have eased off the accelerator not to invalidate his lap, and that is 13th and pretty ominous for the last of the runners who are still trying to set a time. Speedy B caught behind a Williams as Kick Sauber and a Williams. Are they on laps? They could well be. As Speedy B comes across the line, he does go faster than Josh. Avenir across the line is dead last at the moment, and Drogon is going to be the last driver to set a time. I'm not too sure what the conditions in the race are going to be. If it's dry in the race, please, I do urge you to retire. I want my pizza. I want my pizza. As you can see already, the track is already getting the rain droplets on it, and so that already says to me that it is intermediate tyres now. So Drogon's going to come across the line, and Drogon is a good 3 seconds behind Avenir almost. And that is probably the quickest qualifying session in APP history. Right, seeing as everybody has set their times and returning to the pits, let's quickly run through the constructors. And in first place, we do have Aston Martin. The Aston Martin drivers are currently Runes and I believe it's Runes and Avenir, so they are both on 56 points. In second place, it is Ferrari. That is Speedy B, and Speedy B is here on his own tonight. Just the only driver repping Ferrari. Third, we've got Red Bull on 36 points, and in the Red Bull, we have got Drogon and Robsu. Robsu having a much better start to the season. Fourth, we've got RB Honda, which is, as we watch Drogon go for a little spin in the wet, as the Racing Bulls, I believe that is LB Racing and Ads. And then fifth place, we've got the two McLarens, which is Josh DeGuy and Joey B, as Josh has had a slow start to the season, and Sir Joseph. That's right, you heard right. Sir Joseph in fifth position. He'll be looking to have a strong start to the season. He is there or thereabouts. He needs to just get a few pole positions and a few solid podiums to really kickstart his season. He is capable. Williams in sixth on 20 points. Two Williams drivers. We have got James in ninth. I'm guessing that is James Gardner. Maybe he's had a little name change. Please pop up, James, if that is you. And Primeval in third is the other Williams drivers. Seventh is Mercedes. The two Mercedes drivers, are they present tonight? MS is here at least anyway. Yeah, it's just MS repping Mercedes tonight. Eighth is Alpine. The two Alpine drivers are down in 11th and 12th, which is Ralphie. And a welcome return to Bacon Bear to APP Tier 3. She's had a few weeks out, and she is back, and we are going to enjoy some crispy bacon tonight. Haas in ninth on 10 points, and Haas drivers. I don't think we've got any Haas drivers in the lobby tonight. No, we don't. No Haas drivers. So that's them not going to score any points tonight. And 10th with 8 points is Kick Sauber as Tia starts a lap on the soft tyres. This is virtual suicide for Tia, as Lil Louis Grill is his teammate, as we'll ride on board with Tia. Runes has retired from the session. Pretty much just saying that is it for tonight. So I'll just quickly fire up my YouTube chat. Hello and welcome to everybody in who is watching live and chatting in the stream. Let's have some predictions for the race for tonight. As Tier just going to show that it is not slick conditions. The Sauber is really struggling to get around the track at the moment on those dry tyres. LB has gone out. Really can't see too much improvement going on. I do not want that. That's better. It's LB just getting a bit of wet weather practice in on dry tyres. Yeah, you go, LB. James is out on track. The only sensible driver at the moment who is on Inters. Oh, Josh is on Inters as well. Avenir is on Inters. Really can't see much improvement coming in for these guys, in all honesty. Maybe the drivers at the back have got something to fight for. We'll ride on board with Josh, seeing as he's we got Josh and Avenir actually. They are a bit down on their best times as well, so yeah. Not much to really comment about with drivers just driving around in wet conditions. They're not going to improve their times anytime soon. A few of the drivers opt in to stay in the pits, but as I say that, a Red Bull leaves the garage and LB is back into the pits. Tia the Madman out on slick tyres, and Robsu is coming out on slick tyres as well, doing a bit of a Bambi on ice, as Robsu can't quite get to grips with getting more laps in. Or okay, for LB, that's fair enough. If the rain is not coming in the race, that's completely pointless. As Robsu is just completely killing those soft tyres, lighting up the rears. Those soft tyres will not be happy with that. And well, you never know how the race might pan out, really. Those softs could come in handy with a late safety car, and just destroying them like that isn't going to do yourself any favours come the race. But very impressive drifting, nevertheless, by Robsu. Runes has got to be nerfed, says LB. That's not for me to decide, I'm afraid. Please do message the appropriate league owners who deal with that. I am just here to commentate and give my POV on certain decisions. As once again, Robsu just still drifting very nicely. LB, why don't you do something about it? Stop commenting in my YouTube chat, you little bitch, and retire from the session and tell everyone else to retire so we can get racing. Drogon on a lap. Seems to be the only driver out there taking it seriously. Sorry, I am just reading the chat. So yeah, Bacon Bear has retired in the pits. I can only assume Robsu is still on track, just drifting. We have 3 minutes left of this session, and as Robsu does go for a spin. And I'll tell you what, whilst we just quickly see out the rest of this session, I'm just going to quickly go and grab a drink. because not much is going to happen. We'll ride on board with Rob Sue, seeing as he's having fun at the moment. I will be back momentarily. Quick advert break, as we used to have on ITV. Welcome back to the Tier 3 stream. Rob Sue is still having fun, so I will use this moment just to quickly run down the grid order. So all the drivers, pretty much it was a one-shot qualify, and whilst it was dry, everyone darted out the pits as quick as they could before the rain set in. 4 drivers at the back were the 4 drivers who were a bit hesitant to get out, and unfortunately it's proven very costly for them. So Runes is on pole position with a 134.109. Tier in second position on a 134.491. As Rob Sue just takes a little adventure into the pits. LB Racing in 4th position with a 134.7. Joey B in 5th with a 135.053. And then we've got Rob Sue in 6th position with a 135.166. Ads in 7th, another 135.169, 3,000ths of a second behind Rob Sue. Incredibly tight between those two. We've got MS in 8th position with a 135.454. And then James in 9th position with a 135.662. Lil Lou Grill in 10th position with a 135.739. Ralphie in 11th with a 135.779. Bacon Bear in 12th with a 136.171. Speedy B in 13th with a 138.333. All the threes. Josh the Guy in 14th, 138.578. Avenir in 15th with 138.643. And Drogon rounds off the field with a 141.282. Finds himself a staggering just over 7 seconds behind Runes. And that is just how costly it was getting out the pits late. Everybody has retired, or the game has actually just officially finished qualifying. Yes, so it is time to go racing. As I said, Runes on pole, Tier 2nd, Primeval 3rd, LB 4th, Joey B 5th, Robsu 6th, Ads 7th, MS 8th, James 9th, Lil Louis Grill 10th, Ralphie 11th, Bacon Bear 12th, Speedy B 13th, Josh the Guy 14th, Avenir in 15th, and Drogon rounds the drivers in 16th position, 7.1 seconds behind the pole time, as I just said a moment ago. So yeah, that's it. We will get ready to go racing. The drivers will momentarily be on the grid, selecting their strategies, altering their fuel loads, and we will see what conditions the race will chuck up. I've got a funny feeling it will be dry, and it is dry as it stands at the moment. Potentially dry all race, as a few of the drivers are now just selecting their strategies for the race. I'm not too sure what the best strategy is for today, whether it will be a 1 or a 2 stop. This is a traction dependent circuit, so maybe 2 stop is quite feasible around here. we shall see how that all unfolds. Looking forward to getting this race underway, as I'm sure we will see the 5 red lights in a few moments. I'm sorry you couldn't join the race, Raikon. Just terrible luck with the servers today. I think there's been an outage affecting a lot of things. Anyway, we have 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are underway for the Chinese Grand Prix in APP Tier 3. It's a good start by Runes. Tier just doesn't quite have a good enough start compared to Runes. Both of the front two pulling off very nicely. Robsu is in third position. Primeval is in third. Oh, Robsu is in third now as they go side by side with Primeval. Joey B keeping 5th position at the moment, but is looking for 4th position, and he has got through as it stands at the moment. MS down in 6th. LB Racing is in 7th position. James has moved up 1 position to 8th. Ralphie is in 9th. Ads is in 10th, as there's a few drivers just making it round at the back. Few position changes, but as it stands, it looks pretty clean for everybody. I can't see any boo-boos on anyone's front wing or anything like that, so that is a good strong start for everyone. The front two already are just miles ahead of Primeval. Tier and Runes are going to duel it out, as it looks like at the moment at the front. They both start on the mediums. Let's just quickly have a look at the position changes. So the front three are as you were. Joey B has made up 1 position and Robster has made up 1 position. Terrible start for LB Racing, down 3. James has made up 1 position. Ralphie's made it up 2 positions. Speedy B has made it up 3 positions. Ads has had a bad start, down 4 positions. Louis Grill has lost 2 positions. Drogon is up 3. Josh is as you were. Bacon Bears lost 3 positions. And Avenir has lost 1 position. As we look at the tyres, it's almost an equal split, but just slightly in the favour of the medium running tyres, as the top 6 are on the mediums and LB and James are on the hard tyres, and then you have to go to the back of the field. Lil Louis Grill, Avenir, Josh the Guy and Bacon Bear on hard tyres, as the medium runners will be looking to stretch as much of a gap as possible to the hard runners to really make their tyres their strategy work out. You do not want to drag any hard tyres a long way, otherwise they could be a problem on the second half of the stint on the fresher mediums, which will be the much faster racing tyre come midway through the race. But yes, it is to be seen whether this is a 1 or 2 stop Grand Prix. All will be revealed in the next few minutes. Usually drivers lean towards 2 stops on this game. Just managing the tyres, you can really see who does manage their tyres well. And over the course of a 1 stop, as we've seen in Tier 1 at Zandvoort, a few drivers on Friday getting a 1 stop out of that race, which was pretty unbelievable stuff, to be honest. As Runes just has just over a second gap, or he did, but now Tier has just closed it at the end of that straight, as he will be looking to stay in DRS. And in the background, we have Joe and Primeval fighting out for the last podium position at the moment. Joe just runs slightly wide. That could be a track limits warning, but he's looking to make a move on Primeval up the inside into turn 1. That's a good clean overtake by Joe, as he will look to set about the top 2, and he will want to drop the Williams pretty quick, as you can drag along your rivals in the DRS zones comfortably along here. Now Joe has got a bit of he's got a 2.8 second gap in front of him. It's clear enough there to make inroads. Now he's got a slight bit of fresh air in front of him. Primeval. Sir Joseph, says Daka. Yes, that is right, Sir Joseph. I'm glad everyone knows his new name. Robsu in 5th behind Primeval. Robsu will want to dispatch the Williams as well as quickly as possible in front of him. Just catching a lot of grass and curb there. You want to keep your four wheels glued to the tarmac as much as you can. As you can see, he's just wearing off a bit of grouse on that front left tyre as well. Just feather the throttle around this long right-hander. You give it too much throttle, you will lose the car very easily. As this is the fight to watch at the moment. It's the fight for third position, as Primeval does have DRS, but Joe has just eked out enough of a gap as all the drivers coming into the tight hairpin. I have terrible camera angles here. We might have to ride on board with a few going down that straight. You've got your knights mixed up, Daka. It is the legendary, the Legends. I shan't say the name on stream, but yeah, it is the Legend's birthday today. We do wish him a very happy birthday if he does happen to tune in. Kevin has said the top two have checked out, and he is absolutely right. This is going to be a battle of Runes and Tier around China. I'm not sure what Sis Tier has had turned off for Tier 3. I think he's had a couple of nerfs for Tier 3, so this is all good experience for him. But as we can see, he's mighty quick in the windy points of the track, as he looks to stay on the back of that Alpine. Will ride on board with the front two for the time being. Joe has just slightly pulled out a gap on Primeval. He has 1.4 seconds, but sits 5.1 seconds behind Tier. Yeah, Tier with high wings, no doubt. As we do have yellow flags. I'm not too sure what that is for, but everybody looks to be pretty safe for now. No one's retired. So yes, Tier hanging onto the back of that Aston Martin will be eager to make a move. But if he's if Runes is running low wings, as Tier is coming into the pits, is that the end of the medium tyres already? I can't see that. This has got to be a tactical, surely. As Tier comes into the pits, we'll quickly see what tyres he is running. Joey B has pulled out a nice gap as Robsu and LB has got past Primeval. As Tier is in the pits, he has jumped onto the hard tyres. Tier making a very early pit stop. So we will see what comes of that. Maybe he's trying to undercut Runes. Maybe he feels like he has the pace to undercut, but he's going to be on for a long stint, and I'm not sure those hard tyres will pull him through to the end of the race. So maybe Tier is committing to a two-stop. He did say last week, I'm sure he said that he was using Tier 3 to experiment a few bits. Runes is being gifted wins. We shall see. There is a long way to go, but Runes has almighty pace compared to the rest of the field, other than Tier at the moment. We shall see. But Tier has a 3.5 second cushion to the cars in front. The only thing which could really hamper Tier now is if he gets caught in traffic and stuck behind any of these runners who are towards the back of the field. But we shall see in the next few laps as Runes stays out. He crosses the line to start lap 6 of 28 in a world of his own. JB running wide in the background, as I'm sure he would have eased off just ever so slightly to not get a track limits warning. And I am a huge fan of JB's helmet. I must say, I dig the purple. I dig the purple quite a lot. It looks nice with that McLaren. Robsu is on the back of Joey B, though. He'll be looking to attack the McLaren. A Red Bull McLaren battle, just like we have in real life at the moment, for the driver's title. As we've got LB Racing. You can never rule out LB Racing. LB told me to check out his helmet. We'll just excuse any puns there. I can't see too much. can I check the time to the leader? Of course I can, Hugo. Of course. So this is the time to the leader at the moment. Avenir is 50 seconds behind. He is the furthest car back. Tier is 23.6, 23.5. As that is the gap to watch at the moment. I'll keep that up for the time being, and we can see whether Tier is closing in on the leader at the moment, and we'll keep an eye on where he is amongst traffic as well. As I believe Bacon Bear and Avenir have pitted and got out of his way, so they've bought him a few laps reprieve as it stands. But Runes just ploughing on as he was. Maybe we're seeing with LB and James here that the hard tyres are coming into their own, as LB and James and Robsu are side by side going around turn 1, still side by side going into turn 2. This is enthralling stuff for the second position on the podium, as LB Racing holds out in the Racing Bull as there is yellow flags, and that is Speedy B has retired from the session. Not too sure what that is. His car is moving. I wouldn't like to speculate as to why. His Ferrari is parked up in front of the Takua boarding. Yes, it looks like Speedy has retired on track. A massive no-no. Yeah, he was not involved in an incident. Yeah, that isn't a crash. He's retired on track, I'm quite sure there. As that's a massive no-no in any league race, in all honesty. We do not encourage that at all. James is on the back of Robsu, and will Robsu have DRS? LB moves out the way so Robsu doesn't get any kind of slipstream whatsoever. Robsu does not have DRS. The rear wing on James is open, looking to the outside of the Red Bull, but the Robsu defends on the inside nicely, as now they're going side by side coming up to the last corner. This is a sketchy corner to be side by side, and they'll lose so much time racing like that going around the last corner, as now Robsu is back in LB Racing's DRS. That will give him a little bit of reprieve to just close the gap, as Robsu runs very wide, and we did have Runes is in the pits, and he's coming out in traffic, as there is an almighty battle going on ahead, as we will quickly switch the gap back to interval. Joey B 9.4 seconds behind Runes at the moment, as we'll keep an eye on Runes, as he is looking to pick off the field comfortably around the outside of MS. MS didn't put up too much of a battle there. Are they part of the IGP clan? It seemed a bit friendly, that move there. There wasn't too much defending going on. As now Runes is on the back of Lil Louis Grill, as Lil Louis Grill will be minding their own business. And next up the road is Tier, and Tier has jumped Runes, most importantly, as Tier will look to press on. Will Lil Louis Grill help just slow up Runes? Was yet to be seen. I don't think so, as I think the just almighty pace of the Aston Martin will just be too much for Grill to handle. The gap is 1.7 seconds to Tier, as Tier will look to press on as much as he can now. He has the net race lead, as Robsu jumps into the pits, and so does Ads, as it looks like the medium tyres have served their purpose for a lot of these cars, as everyone is ducking into the pits to jump onto the hard tyres. So the medium tyres doing 8-9 laps at best, as we are missing a front right end plate on Ralphie, as Josh the Guy is stuck behind the Alpine, who would lose so much pace going through these corners, missing the end plate, as Tier is slowly catching up behind, and he will need to dispatch this Alpine as quick as possible, and the McLaren, as Runes is hunting Tier down at the moment, and this could be a Tier's breather as well if he can get past the Alpine and McLaren pretty quickly. and maybe Runes gets stuck behind them for another lap or so, it could help. But they are both on the medium tyres, and I'm sure those medium tyres are beginning to scream in pain as they just lose grip. Well, probably corner on corner now, as Tier is right on the back of the McLaren, but also Runes is right on the back of Tier, as we have a 4-car gaggle going down the back straight now, as a Tier gets ultimate speed going out of the corner, and so does Runes, as we have a 4-class slipstream race coming down to the hairpin right corner. Runes just doesn't have enough speed to dispatch the Kick Sauber, as the McLaren of Josh is on the left-hand side. Josh just stays out of the way of that one. As Tier is in the pits again. What is... They are coming all over the back of each other. That is right, Daka. That is right. Why is Tier in the pits? This is most odd. I don't know what Tier's up to. It's just denying us a good race, really. Which is a great shame. LB Racing currently leads the way, but is yet to pit. James is in second, keeping LB honest. Drogon in third on 9-lap medium tyres. Drogon doing a very good job on the mediums as well. He's got 9 laps out of them. Runes is much to everyone's despair, looks like is being handed this win. Yeah, it is harder to get track limits if you're going into the pits, but this is China. You can actually get track limits warnings making that left turn going into the pits if you cut too much, as we do have a 3-car battle for the lead as it stands. James is just given LB a little bit of a tap there, and it looks like he's got a missing front left end plate there. On the front right end plate on the Williams, as Drogon, I believe, has ducked into the pits. He's not getting involved in that. As Drogon in the pits, and Daka says softs can do half the race. Absolutely, after yesterday, the most topsy-turvy soft tyres I've ever seen in my life around Texas. The one track which you would have thought would have absolutely destroyed soft tyres. Yeah. I don't understand it. Make it make sense. So Joey B is having a good race. He is in P5, but that must mean Joey B is also in a net P2, with Runes ahead in third position, who is in the net P1, has Lil Louis Grill and LB Racing and James are yet to pit ahead. Tier, on the other hand, is finding himself back down in 9th position, but has a little bit of clear air in front of him, but as to what strategy he's running, I don't understand, as I'm sure you all don't understand either. I would love to get a bit of feedback or an insight as to why he is doing this. He had good pace as well to really challenge Runes. Rob, Sue and LB being acquainted again, as the gap just is just over 3 seconds, as Joey B is on the back of Lil Louis Grill. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong time now. I thought Robson was closer to Joey B, but he's not. Joey B is on the back of Lil Louis Grill, and he will look to activate DRS and probably deploy whatever battery he's got to execute this overtake. Not quite, as Joe is quite content to sit behind Lil Louis Grill, but this is this could be Joe's downfall here if he sits behind Lil Louis Grill for too long. Don't want to lose too much time, as we can see his pace is much greater than the Kick Saubers in front. He moves to the left hand side, gets the overtake done. He deployed a bit of battery to get the overtake complete there as well, but he is through and up to 4th position, 11.2 seconds behind Runes. As still out front, it's James and LB Racing fighting for 1st and 2nd position. Runes is in a world of his own in 3rd position, soon to be the race lead, and he will be in the world of his own once the 2 cars in front pit. As Primeval is the only driver on circuit at the moment with a track limits penalty, which I believe is 3 seconds. Yeah, oh, and Bacon Bear. Two drivers with 3 seconds at the moment. We will come back to penalties much later on to see how that pans out. Penalties aren't quite essential right now. Drogon has got past Rob Sue, the two racing racing bulls, or two Red Bulls. Drogon last week in Tier 2 had great pace. I battled with Drogon around Zandvoort, and he was no slouch. And as I said last week, he showed flashes of return to form. And once again, he is showing flashes of return to form, but even more so impressive in Tier 2. Really challenging the front runners for pace. He was a big hitter in Tier 2, so he will be looking to continue that form as well and get back onto the top. He was strong before. I believe he broke his thumb, or I think it was his thumb, and just completely fell off the boil, and now he's working his way back up as he almost goes into the back of Lil Louis Grill, who's taking a more adventurous line around turn 1. Speaking of Tier 2, why was Red Bull forced out? They wasn't forced out. They was asked to take. They was asked to be to have a cockpit cam, because I've raced in Tier 2 for years now, and I won't be afraid to say that they are just too fast for Tier 2, or they've outgrown Tier 2 very quickly. They are very competitive, as we saw Hugo yesterday in Elite win the Elite race. And if you're winning races in Elite, I'm sorry, you have no place in Tier 2. That is not what Tier 2 is for, unfortunately. Hugo will probably find a good home in Elite and Tier 1. And I think that is the best compliment I can pay. Drogon is within a second of LB Racing. What is Elite? Elite tier is a tier which we run 0 assists. So, absolutely nothing. No assists, no racing line, no nothing, and you just go racing and enjoy yourself. No stream for Elite at the moment either. As Drogon is on the back of Joey B, as we see once again, Drogon has great pace in that Red Bull. He's on the back of that McLaren, as we have yellow flags for a spinning Bacon Bear at the back of the field, but she recovers on the medium tyres. And here once again is in the pits. But if Drogon can dispatch Joey B, it'll be very interesting to see his pace compared to Runes. Runes is within a second of James, but James is just outside of the DRS of LB Racing, but they're still pushing these hard tyres as far as they can go, looking to one-stop this Grand Prix. Runes was all over the back of the Williams driver, but he is no longer on the back of the Williams. He has jumped ahead and now is on the back of LB Racing. LB Racing looking to do another racing lap as we start lap 15 of 28. Runes is really beginning to punish the rest of the field now with his terrifying pace out front, as he is on the back of LB Racing. But LB Racing will not make this easy, as maybe Runes is going for a 2-stop here, as LB and James will be looking to make a 1-stop. James could be hindered if the mechanics change his front wing. Drogon has got past Joey B in the time being. Joey B is just over half a second behind, but is also on for a podium as it stands. But will he be able to take those hard tyres to the end is yet to be seen. Mind you, Runes has a good chance really to go to the end from here. I was expecting Runes to maybe pit again, but if he doesn't, he has a pit stop in the bank now over the cars behind. He could probably yeah, he would easily be able to pit twice and probably win this race at the moment. But we'll watch out for Drogon. He is in clear air now and seems to be the driver on the move. He will be looking to hammer down on the cars in front. We know what Drogon is capable of, but it's depending whether he can keep that pace. As we do have yellow flags on track for not too sure who's spun there. But the yellow flags are gone, so there is no risk of a VSC or a full course safety car. So all the drivers are pretty much running on hard tyres at the moment. We do have two drivers on the medium tyres, which is Avenir and Bacon Bear, 13th and 15th respectively. As LB and James are in the pits, as we'll keep an eye on whether James will have a front wing change, as he is missing that front right end plate. He is not having a front wing change, so he doesn't lose any time in the pits, as I'm sure he'll be relieved. Maybe he's comfortable with that Williams car having no front left end plate, as Lil Louis Grill goes round the outside, yet to pit on those hard tyres. As that was a bit of a tap on the rear for James there. LB seems to have cleared James quite comfortably now. The gap is 2 seconds, but we'll keep an eye on how these medium tyres do. I think the gap is a bit too much to get to Ruins up front. Joey B has boxed again for hard tyres, finds himself quite a way at the back, and 12 seconds ahead of Tia. But Joe will be looking to clear Avenir pretty soon, as Joe, I'm sure, will cut through the field like a hot knife through butter soon enough, as he does go out the inside of Avenir just there. Drogon comfortably 13.8 seconds out in front, as the gap is, well, yeah, there we go, 13.8 to Drogon. Can Drogon nibble away at that lead? I think even if he does, too little laps in it now, as we are on lap 17 of 28. Runes is on a mission out front. Robsu rounding off the podium at the moment in a world of his own, but he will have to keep an eye on LB Racing and James behind. It's going to be a hard second stint for James with that front wing damage. As Zeki says, Runes is on for a 2-stop, or he's going to get a speeding penalty. We shall see. It's looking quite comfortable in that Aston Martin at the moment. The gap has stabilised to Drogon behind, and with 11 laps to go, I think he'd be foolish to pit again at the moment. I'm sure those hard tyres have got good life in them. We just seen LB get good distance out of them, and James, and Lil Louis Grill has boxed as well, just this lap as well. So Lil Louis Grill got good 16 laps out of those hard tyres. But we will see. Every driver is different on how they manage their tyres, and managing your tyres is key on this game. It's not like we've ever seen before on F1 games before. You really do get punished for your tyre management on this game if you are not careful enough. As Runes crosses the line to start another racing lap. Drogon just eking away at the time a little bit. It's 13.3 seconds. That's half a second closed in there. As Drogon just eating away ever so slightly at the gap in the gap at front. Robster is in third. We've got LB and James in fourth and fifth. Josh the guy quietly going around in sixth position. He's had a good drive, but he's run very wide there. He'll be lucky. Well, he is lucky not to get a track limits penalty there. Could possibly have got a warning for that. We have Ads having a very quiet and decent Grand Prix in seventh as well, as long and Ralphie in seventh and eighth respectively, as they go side by side. Ralphie missing that front right end plate on that Alpine will certainly be hurting his car as well, especially through these corners. As Primeval is that his usual retirement in the pits? Yeah, that is Primeval's usual retirement in the pits. Watch out for the Williams coming out on track, as I'm sure that could cause a bit of a headache. Not too sure what's happened to Primeval there. Just baffles me why you would get 18 laps into a Grand Prix and just retire. So Runes is in the pits then. Here we go. Runes is gambling on the 2-stop here as he comes in. I'm sure he will bolt on a set of the medium tyres. We will keep an eye on what tyres he chucks on. It's hard for hard. Okay then, so Runes is quite happy with the hard-paced tyres as Drogon inherits the lead, and all of a sudden, the race is going to be decided by strategy. Robsu jumps ahead of Runes as LB Racing just doesn't quite have enough in the bank to get ahead of Runes, which could be key for Runes' battle for the podium here. Robsu will not make this easy for Runes as well, but such is Runes' pace at the moment. I don't think anybody holds a candle to him at the moment, but his pace compared to Robsu will be very interesting. Has he handed Robsu the race win here? Yes, it is hammer time for Runes. Drogon picks up a 3-second time penalty as well, so all of a sudden that gap is now 5.8 seconds to Robsu. And Runes will be delighted to see that Drogon has just picked up a time penalty, as he's just saved himself a lot of work there. So now it is all down to whether Robsu can hold up the Aston Martin as much as possible, as Robsu is known to run very low wings wherever he goes. He's called the Robsu rocket ship for a reason, but I believe this is no problem for Runes as he throws his car down the inside, picks his braking point, and just overcooks the apex of the hairpin corner. But Robsu is behind. He will have a bite of the cherry under this DRS, but if he doesn't get the overtake done here, which it doesn't look like it, this is going to set up a great finale for the last 9 laps of this Chinese Grand Prix. Josh the Guy is the next driver to pick up 3 seconds for track limits, as they are slowly coming in now. As we'll keep an eye on Joey B as well. He is within a second of Ralphie ahead. He has pitted twice. He has gone onto the hard tyres, as he will be looking to close up and get a few more positions. I don't think he'll be happy even if he gets past Ralphie and finishes in 7th. He will not be the happiest bunny on the field, as jumps up the inside. Avenir sets the fastest lap of a 1:36.610 in the Aston Martin at the back of the field. So I think we're probably going to see Runes absolutely destroy that in a moment. The gap is 7.5 seconds to the leader, as the gap is slowly coming down. Those fresh hard tyres on Runes are going to be key for his quest for the win here. Robsu's 2.5 seconds behind Runes now, as LB Racing has joined the chat for the podium, sitting behind Robsu at the moment. Closing. Will he be brave under braking? He's going for the lunge at the inside, and that is great awareness by Robsu there as well, but he looks for the undercut on LB Racing, but those fresher medium tyres, he's hit the back of LB Racing and he's ducked into the pits because that is a front left end plate missing. Runes does get the fastest lap. In the pits comes Robsu. I'm sure he'll just be looking to get that front wing change and throw on a set of the medium tyres. That is very unfortunate there for Robsu, as that is always the danger, going side by side in that corner. So LB Racing will be looking to press on to Runes ahead, just hoping that there is enough life in these medium tyres to give the Aston Martin driver a headache. But the gap to Drogon at the moment sits at 5.9 seconds. or 2.9 seconds if you count that 3-second time penalty at the moment. This is going to be really close come the end of the race for the battle for the race win. It doesn't look like LB has an answer for Roone's pace in P2. There aren't too many. There's no one within DRS on the circuit at the moment as the field spreads out. Joey B is in 5th position. He has made up a few positions thanks to Robsu's little excursion into the back of LB Racing at the end of the last lap. So Joey's up in 5th, but I think that is probably the best he'll be able to do today, as the drivers ahead I don't think will pit again. So as it stands, P5 for Joe. He'll be satisfied with that. Drogon will be satisfied with P1, but I don't think he'll be satisfied with P2, especially after his track limits. Runes will not be satisfied with P2. He will want to seal this race win, who's looked ever so dominant since qualifying. Although he had one shot to qualify pole and he took it with great applause, he did not mess around in qualifying when he had to get the job done. LB Racing in 3rd as well. He'll be satisfied with a podium. Last year he sealed his championship by finishing P3, and the majority of the races he won Bahrain last season. That was his only race win of the season, but his consistency you cannot scoff at. He is very good at being consistent and just picking up points when he has to. That is why he's a 2-time Tier 2 champion and a 1-time Tier 3 champion, as he is looking for a second Tier 3 title. James Gardner once again, he's doing well. Strong outing in 4th position, as he will look to have a very promising result here as well. In the Williams, he's out of VRS, so you can see that Williams is really struggling down the back straight. But Joey B, as I said, will be content with P5. Robsu will be probably very annoyed. He should feel he should be on the podium instead of LB Racing, but that is a matter for whether they decide to take it up with the stewards. Here, with his very artistic strategy, is in 7th position at the moment. Josh the Guy running in 8th. This isn't the Josh that we saw last season. He's running in the midfield. Josh last year was went head to head with LB in the finale, but just missed out. We had our finale at Barcelona, I believe, because of server issues, as Josh does set the fastest lap of a 1:35.751, and that will be the extra point for him at the moment. Josh just showing he does have the pace, after I was saying he will be pretty disappointed and it's with 8th. It'll be nice to see Josh be at the front one week. Absolutely. Lulu Grill just going about their P9. Another strong outing for them since they've joined APP. Hasn't been involved in any silly incidents from what we've seen. Just quietly going about their business and getting solid points. MS also in a solid 10th position. No moments for them. Ads in 11th. I believe Ads got a podium on his APP debut in Australia last year, but just hasn't been able to replicate that form since then. Just struggling down in P11 at the moment. Ralphie in 12th. Avenir in 13th. Avenir will be probably look back with a bit of disappointment being down in 13th. Bacon Bear just getting race experience and race pace. It's her first race back as well. She's on soft tyres, but as it's just been pointed out, Runes is within the race win on track now, and yes, 1.5 seconds as Rune really eating away at Drogon's gap out in front. Drogon will be on for a P2 finish, I believe. I'd imagine LB's medium tyres just beginning to not scream out in pain, but they're probably beginning to get a little bit flustered with the load and the demand of the race that's being asked of them at the moment. James, even so, ever so impressively, without that front right end plate, just keeping LB honest. This is a great showing by James Gardner. Missing that front right end plate. It's a really great drive by the Williams. Somehow, just sitting outside the DRS gap without the end plate is very impressive stuff. Especially with a three-time APP champion sitting in front of him. Joey B not really making any inroads on the cars in front, but in a world of his own in P5, as the closest gap on circuit at the moment is the battle for, I guess, what is the race lead at the moment. It is within half a second. As Rune's looking down the inside, but Rune's just needs to sit in the wing mirrors of that Red Bull to take the race win, and I don't think he will be content on crossing the line in second. Runes will most definitely want to be first across the line, just to apprehensively and put concrete on it, as Drogon actually just pulls over and lets the Aston Martin through. That's quite sporting of Drogon to do that as well, just realising that maybe his race is run for the race win and will be happy to get second position. Denko confused by Drogon's move to pull over, but at the same time I can understand it. Maybe Drogon does not want to get involved in a battle with Runes and potentially lose out on the podium. I think that was quite a sporting move by Drogon there. It was the most I thought it was quite a sporting move by Drogon, just to move over, and maybe Drogon is looking at the bigger picture here and just wanting to not get involved in any silly battles and bring home a podium. As we start lap 26 of 28, 3 laps to go, and Drogon's hard tyres will definitely be a factor coming towards the end of this race. So we have to, one of the many reasons why Drogon probably did concede the lead very easily at the end of that on that last lap, as the gap to LB is sitting at 7.8 seconds, 7.9. We'll keep an eye on that, but even so, I don't think LB has just got the tyre life to really close in that much on Drogon at the end of this race. The real battle now, though, is can James get the podium? Yeah, Drogon, LB, same tyre life. Yeah, I think so. We will ride on board for the battle of the podium for the rest of the race, I believe, as this is looking like the battle to stay on board with between LB Racing and James Gardner. 1.2 seconds. James Gardner just cannot quite get within LB's DRS. Raikkonen just saying Drogon is preserving his tyres as best as he can, and yeah, I think that is the case too. He doesn't need to get involved in anything silly now, as James is within a second, but I don't think he is within a second on the DRS detection point. So no, it just sits within a second coming down the back straight. But can he claw that Williams to within a second down the pit straight DRS? If he can do that, then it is game on for the podium, as it was very tight to the detection point there. As has he opened his rear wing? No, he just once again sitting just outside the 1 second gap, as this is really hurting James's progress for the podium at the moment. LB Racing just using these corners and probably that front right end plate to his advantage, whereas James Gardner does not have that. 1.1. And now we're 1.0. So now James Gardner, this is going to be the sector which will determine whether he will get DRS down the back straight. LB Racing just sitting over a second, and as we can see, that front right end plate really hurting Lack of front right end play really hurting James through this sector. Still 1.2 seconds and doesn't have much ERS compared to LB. They're both sitting on, well, they both roughly was sitting on the same ERS, but the gap is just outside a second. And once again, I think James just does not have the DRS down the back straight. Runes has pulled out a comfortable 5.3 second gap to Drogon, as the gap is all the sevens to Drogon for LB Racing. It was a moment ago, as James once again trying his best to get within that second, as Runes starts the last lap of this Chinese Grand Prix in Tier 3 as completely... it's almost a domination, I must say. He is pitted twice, hasn't really been trouble for the race lead. If Drogon wouldn't have had the time penalty, I'm sure he would have made his life a little bit harder for the race win. But as it stands, Drogon unfortunately did have that 3-second time penalty and just did not want to get involved with Runes battling for the lead. James is within a second of LB Racing on this lap, so will it be a last lap showdown for the final place on the podium? We will ride on board with Runes as he comes across the line as well, so I'll do my best to capture as much of the action as possible. The Williams is all over the back of that racing bull ahead of LB Racing as they come down the back straight. It is game on now, as James will have the DRS, will ride on board with Runes in a moment as he is making his way around the penultimate corner. I don't think James has quite got the pace to challenge LB Racing. No, so Runes comes across the line to take the win in China. I believe that's his third win of the season. Drogon comes home in second. He'll be very pleased with that. Once again, a return to form for Drogon. Now he's making moves in Tier 3. LB Racing and James come home in third and fourth, respectively. Joey B in fifth position on his own. As he does have Robsu, actually, within a second behind. Robsu has closed up an awful lot. He just needed one more lap to get fifth position, but Joey B holds out for fifth. Robsu is in sixth. Josh in seventh. Tia, Tia was in eighth, but MS comes home in eighth. Lil Lou Grill in ninth. Ads in 10th. Ralphie in 11th. Tia is going to come home in 12th position. Avenir and Bacon Bear will round out the grid for this Grand Prix. Speedy B looked like he retired on track. Primeval just retiring in pits. As that is the Chinese Tier 3 race concluded. Just waiting for Avenir to cross the line. Runes has left the session, so ignore that. He did win the race. It's a bit of a lie, this podium. It should be Runes on the top and Drogon in second with LB in third, but the game is showing that James Gardner has been promoted to the podium. But a bit like what happened in real life a few years ago, I'm sure a few FIA stewards will go out to James Gardner and say no. A bit like what happened to Max Verstappen when he overtook Kimi Räikkönen. Runes DSQ'd, yeah. I'd be devastated if he was. So Drogon was the race, not Drogon. So Runes was the race winner. Avenir got the fastest lap. Driver of the day went to Drogon, but I'm sure that would be Runes. Most overtake Drogon. Well, I could probably believe that one. and cleanest driver. Let's quickly run through the finishing order. Drogon in first, LB second, James in third, fourth Joey B, Robsu in fifth, Josh DeGuy in sixth, MS in seventh, Lil Lugro in eighth, Ads in ninth. I've missed it. Too slow, but I did clear out the order as they crossed the line. It wasn't Drogon in first either, as I just said. It was Runes. As you can tell, I've been waffling on for over an hour now. I'm slowly losing my marbles. So, yes, it is that time of week again where I get to decide driver of the day. There's a few nominees this week. We have Runes, who just completely obliterated the field. I'm not going to give it to Runes. I'm sure he'll be satisfied with the race win, as my two picks are going to be a toss-up between Drogon and James Gardiner. And I think it's got to be Drogon for driver of the day. Yeah, as Denko says Drogon as well. I think it's got to be Drogon as well. It is a very welcome return to form for Drogon. It's nice to see him back in the action, finishing P2, and a very solid drive for him as well. So I believe that is it really for Tier 3 this week. Next week, I believe we move on to, let me just quickly load up the calendar. I've got a funny feeling it is Baku, and if it's Baku, I encourage you all to tune in for Tier 2, Tier 1, and Elite when I race, because, yeah, just because. If you haven't heard my horror stories of Baku, then, yeah, please do check it out. Oh, I wish I could load up the right Season 18 calendar. Here we go. So, yes, next week we are on to Azerbaijan, the city of Baku, for the famous street circuit, which will most definitely claim a few lives around that track. It's claimed my life several times, and others as well, thanks to me too. Round 5 we go to Abu Dhabi. Round 6 we do Britain, but it's Britain with a twist. It's a sprint race, and we race the sprints the correct way around Britain, and then when it comes to the main race, we run the track in reverse for the main race. So that will be a great addition to the calendar. It's sounding quite fun already. Las Vegas is round 7th. Austria is round 8th. I can't talk properly. Round 8. Japan is round 9, and we round off the championship in Mexico, which is, yes, it is the 2 weeks before Christmas. So Santa won't be coming to town. It'll be a new APP champion coming to town. So this time tomorrow we'll be just finishing off Tier 2. Look out for Ghost and Daka's commentary going in the commentator stream. I believe it goes on Ghost's Twitch channel, so keep an eye out for them too. The best commentators in APP by far. Tune in, show them love, give them support. Friday is Tier 1, and I believe Louis commentates on the Tier 1. Keep an eye out for his commentary in going in the commentary stream as well. And then Sunday we have Elite. Unfortunately, we don't have a stream for Elite. And last but not least, keep an eye out for the podcast, which should drop tonight or very early tomorrow. Be sure to get on to Ghost's case about uploading that. Right. I think that is everything. I have covered everything for today. Drogon was the driver of the day, but most importantly, Runes sealed the race win with Drogon in second and LB Racing in third position. So, yeah, I believe that is everything else for me to say. So, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. Have a great evening, and I will see you on track for the rest of the week. So, Take care, and goodbye, everybody.